Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Singapore Homebrew on Money FM 89.3.
Joining us today is Push Sharma. He is an entrepreneur, the founder and CEO of Haldy. Haldy is an award-winning Singapore startup behind the world's first sugar-free turmeric mints. Now, Push approaches health and wellness with innovation, including a design patent on his recyclable mint package. Over 25 years of experience in private equity and consulting and entrepreneurship. Good news is his products are now on Singapore Airlines, InterContinental Hotels, major e-commerce platforms. Push is joining us in the studio today. Great to have you here. Congratulations on your ongoing success.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, brilliant. What is it? You know, you've done a lot of things in your life. You started this company in 2021. You call it your COVID baby. What was the impetus behind starting a mint company of all things after all the other things you've done?
Well, so just before we moved back to Singapore, we were living in China, and we were stuck with COVID while we were there. And, you know, the first thing we did, we realized that there's no medication for COVID. But everyone was talking about boosting immunity. And, you know, from India, and I've grown up eating a lot of turmeric, and we always used to go back and say, this will help you boost immunity. So it's how it started. And we started to consume in a pill, powder, capsule form. But I realized that it's very medicinal. You know, it gives a bit of a...
It doesn't taste great.
It doesn't
on
taste
its own.
great, exactly. Yeah. And it's very hard to build a routine around it. And my kids refuse to eat it. And at the same time, you know, in Singapore, if you remember, we were all wearing masks and going out. And I think the only thing that we were carrying, or most people were carrying, were breath mints. And so was I and my family. And then I realized one day I woke up and I said, you know, we have so many empty boxes of mint lying at home, but they're not giving me any value. And I have to with water, drink these ugly-looking supplements. Will be nice if there's a mint with turmeric in it. And that sort of sparked an idea. And then I started to do some research. I looked at the US, Europe, including India as well. And there was nothing available. And I said, you know, maybe there's an opportunity, or maybe it's something that nobody did it. That's why it's not possible. So it took me to this whole journey of exploration to Kerala, with the birthplace of Ayurveda, and got the R&D team to formulate it. It took me about 2 years with the whole formulation. Wow. But my reason, what I wanted to do was, I didn't want to create a supplement. I wanted it to create in a mint form, which is very easy, convenient, tasty, refreshing, sort of, and on the go. And so after multiple trials, we finally cracked it in before we launched the product 2 years ago. And it was in a mint form, and that was it. I said, this is a good product. We had a lot of consumer trials. I did blind tasting for a lot of people, and they couldn't. One of the things that resonated, or people said that, you know, I don't want the aftertaste, and I don't want my teeth to stain. So those were the certain parameters I looked into when we were formulating the whole mint as such. And we launched the brand 2 years ago in February in Singapore. And it's been a pretty exciting journey so far.
Fascinating.
Right? Yeah.
I've got so many questions. Let's step back, the origin story. So when you were developing, you keep saying developing the product. So did you get financial backers from the beginning, or did you put in your own money? It just seems such a risky endeavor to take on, especially during COVID. So what came first? Did you get investment first, or did you create the product first?
Okay, that's a good question. So actually the product, to your point of investment, my wife is my anchor investor.
That's nice.
Keeping it in the family.
Keeping it in the family, exactly. Yeah. And so I had some capital with the exit of my last venture, and I basically put everything in it because I was, you know, the interesting thing for me was that this was born out of a necessity for myself, not so much a trend that everyone was following. So with that in mind, I said, you know, this is something that I feel as a problem and I want to solve it. And then when I spoke to other people, they had similar problems as well in terms of mint carrying, you know, the pack was big, etc., what have you. So we invested our own money. We believed in the product. We went through this whole ideation process, and my wife, and of course, was very much part of it from day one. And
so when you say we, just the two of you?
Yes.
Oh wow.
She's a passive, silent investor.
No, I mean like there wasn't a group of investors or.
No. So there's no. We bootstrapped. We haven't raised a penny at the moment, at least for now. But that's the big ambition, of course. I think the idea was that I had to test it before I could go to investors and show proof of concept, really see traction, see how it's growing, etc. And I believe we are on that path, and we've expanded the brand locally in Singapore, being a local brand. And now the idea is to scale it, take it overseas, what have you. But to answer your question, we are bootstrapped. Our money, our sweat equity as well. And yeah.
Nice. We're talking with Push Sharma, the founder and CEO of Haldy, the world's first sugar-free mints. You can get them online. You can get them at Singapore airports, InterContinental Hotels. And tell us about this. It seems like the brand is doing pretty well. You've had some big placements, a lot of spots where people can pick these up. How's it going?
Well, yeah, I think I've been quite fortunate in terms of the consumer feedback that we've got. The interesting thing for me is that in Singapore, I guess it's fortunate there's no gums. So I think
hey, yeah, interesting point, right?
Yeah, no chewing gum, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So the one common denominator amongst people that I met across all age groups, I guess, including Max's generation, is everyone eats mint in Singapore.
I never thought of that. Yeah.
So that became a good way in for consumers to sort of test.
But of course, there's a lot of competition in that market as well,
Of course, absolutely. I think that competition is very much there. It's very real as well. Yeah. Which is why I think the way I position the brand is to not be in very traditional commercial channels like the FairPrice and the cold storages, etc. I took a very unconventional route where I said wanted to get to a consumer because we try to create a lifestyle brand, and if I want to do it, I need to position it in the right places. So, which is why we went to the Chris shop. We sell there, the InterContinental
the Singapore Airlines shop.
Yes, correct. And then the American Club. And then even F&B establishments here. We are in Ryan's Grocery. We sell online through Guilty Gourmets where they do artisanal products. They import stuff. So I position the brand a bit at a premium.
So are you saying if FairPrice called you today and said,
I will go.
So, I mean,
like, you're not dumb, right? I mean, yeah, of course you're going to go with scale.
Of course.
So you've said it there. It's at a premium. So for our listeners, how many's in a packet? How much they cost? Those kind of things.
So our mint pack costs $5, and in terms of quantity, is about 40 mints in a pack.
That's not that expensive.
Which
reasonable.
is equal to another competitor of ours, which is the world's largest selling mint. So we are at par with them.
Yeah. I've seen these before, Neil. You can have a look at one of them. We got the packaging right here.
It's handy size, pocket size, can slip into your pocket, no issue. Are you selling it overseas? Is that the next step, or is it happening already?
Correct. No, we are shipping overseas. We do ship overseas, but of course, shipping costs are a bit much. We were looking to launch in the US actually this quarter, but given what's going,
big.
Yeah.
Of course, so with the tariffs.
So we had to defer our plans of going in. Of course, I mean, US isn't completely out; it just deferred for a certain period of time. But yeah, the ambition still remains. We want to exit. We want to expand the brand, get, let's say, for the lack of a better word, low-hanging fruits markets like Malaysia, Thailand, stuff like that. So that's where we're looking at distributors and then getting into channels.
So I read the information that the mints are manufactured in a U.S. FDA and BRCGS food safety certified facility.
That's correct.
I don't know what that BRG...
Brand recognition through global compliance.
Got it. Okay.
And this is in Singapore?
No, it's in China.
Okay, so everything is produced in China?
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, with the turmeric element, can you say that it's a health food? I mean, you have to be careful how...
True.
Obviously, turmeric is something that you believe is quite healthy and all that. But can you call it a health food? Can you make any claims about what it will do for people?
Right. So that's the one thing we've kept away from it, because turmeric is very polarizing. So either you like it or you don't. The other thing is that if I'm launching a product which there's never existed, I don't want to position myself in a corner where I'm only saying because then you're playing with the supplements of the world and all of that. And it's a very niche market. So I wanted it to be a bit more mass market, which is why we've kept away from making any claims. The interesting thing, though, is that during COVID or after COVID, everybody understood the value of turmeric. They were having it in different forms, pill powder, shots, latte, cookies, what have you. And there's been a lot of research done around it as well. So that, from the consumer lens, they already were aware of it. They just didn't have it in a mint form. So I gave them that sort of an opportunity to, hey, this is perhaps a more convenient way for you to have it, which is why we got the packaging design in a way where it sticks on anything magnetic. So if you have a magnetic phone case, it'll stick on your phone. It'll also fit. I don't know, Neil or.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. And the other thing was that if you wear jeans, like I see Neil, you're wearing one. That little small pocket in your jeans. Have you ever used it?
No, I haven't.
It's a Haldy pocket.
I'm going to use it right now.
the Haldy pocket.
It does fit.
I
Look,
put
look at
keys
that.
in. I put keys in there. Something.
Yeah,
a key.
yeah.
A key.
Or
Like
coins
car
when you're
fob.
traveling.
The fob for the car.
Correct.
Yeah,
But in
Haldy
terms of
pocket.
because what I realized was that I saw these issues with myself when I used to carry some other brands. They were very chunky, and when you're carrying a smartphone, you need a charger. You have your glasses or what have you. So you don't have any space left.
Yeah.
But I say, hey, this little pocket is doing nothing for me. It's just dead weight.
Yeah.
So and I'm an architect, so I actually went down to the drawing board. I measured. So there's a bit of background. So when we came around designing the mint pack, I actually measured my wife's thinnest clutch bag because she would always complain that she cannot carry mints in that bag because it just wouldn't close. So I measured the clutch bag and I said it has to be smaller than a credit card just for it easy to fit. And those were the certain things I went and I sort of I cut a little cardboard box and said this looks like a good design,
Good size.
and then I pitched it to my designer. This is what I'm looking for. Give us sort of a vision board, etc. And then she came back with some options which really hit the spot. So a lot of thought has gone through the design as well. Not so much just because I think the first thing the consumer sees is how does it look on shelf, and would they buy it? And then it's the elevated experience of the taste. So I've tried to sort of balance both, and it's been
How
exciting.
things look on the shelf is fascinating because you have these product wars and you're now up against some big competitors and they want the end caps, as they call it, at the end of supermarket aisles or next to
or the checkout.
the checkout and so on, and they pay premiums and that sort of thing.
Right.
How is your product going to be able to compete with that, or are you going to go an entirely different way?
So I'm actually exactly where you said we should be in terms of premium aisles, in terms of checkout counters. That's where we are at the moment in most stores that we operate out of. We are not in commercial and fair price and department stores at the moment.
Yet,
We are in Ryan's Grocery. We are at the checkout tail. We are also on shelf. So the ambition is, of course, to grow that pie and get into fair price, what have you. Of course, those would be our wish list. But again, to your point, we cannot afford to go into that pricing war where we are not. We can't compete with the Mars of the
Just
world.
not there yet.
Just not there yet. So, which is why I think the idea is to scale it through expansion, look at new markets to distributorship. And the way I have expanded the brand locally, I think that would be our model that we would look at other places.
Interesting.
So we are speaking to hospitality chain. So also, I think the important thing for me is that I want the brand to be of a certain value.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a mass market sort of thing. But of course, when it comes to pricing, we'll give this competitive pricing in a fair price, for example, as well.
Yeah.
But I don't want to dilute the premiumization, which we've spent a lot of time, effort on it.
Yeah.
And there's a story to tell, so.
We're talking with Push Sharma, the founder and CEO of Haldy, the world's first sugar-free turmeric mints, developed right here in the little red dot. All right, let's close off, Push, with maybe 1, 2, 3 lessons you've learned as an entrepreneur. If people are out there on their own journey or maybe thinking about an entrepreneurial journey. It's different, of course, for every brand, every service. But what are some things you learned about, a couple of things you've learned, lessons you've learned?
Right. Well, that's a loaded question. I think, I mean, there's no right answer to that, but it's very important that you have to have a support system. I think that's been very crucial for me in my journey as well. The family support is very much needed because, the ups and downs, there's not every day is the same day, right?
Or the downs and downs.
Downs and downs, exactly. So I think that's the one thing you have to have a good support system. Second, I think is also have a community in addition to the support system where you can actually get mentorship or advisors, for example. So that will help you because a lot of people have also experienced it. They're able to guide you better. So the first is the more mental sort of wellness, etc. The other is more about guidance in terms of your business and how you should proceed. And I think third is you have to disconnect to reconnect. I think you would really have to take time off for yourself. Make sure you're investing on health, on me time. I think that's very, very crucial. Otherwise, the burnout is real, and then that just takes a toll on the way you approach business, just the way you are as a person. It takes a toll on you. So so you got to disconnect and take a holiday if you have to. Switch off your phone for a few hours. I practice a lot of mindfulness, and I follow Silva, what have you. So it gives me that downtime, and it's much needed, especially in the fast-paced world we live in today.
Yeah.
So those would be my 3 things that I think.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Last question from me. You haven't actually said if the consumer likes it? What's been the feedback you've been getting from the
Consumer
public?
doesn't like it, they love it. And they keep pushing me, pun intended, for more flavors.
Wow.
So we have 4 at the moment. There's a limited edition flavor I'm launching.
What are the
flavors?
So there's lemon, berries, peppermint, and apple. So apple is a limited edition flavor, and I've got you guys a bit of one of each.
And do you tweak it? I mean, have you had some feedback? They like this flavor, they don't like that flavor. Does it affect the way you product and market and everything?
Yeah, so actually the first 3 original flavors, the berries, peppermint, and apple, are the world's largest selling flavors. And in Singapore as well, those are the ones that really sell well. Apple was me testing the market because we tweaked the formulation, to your point. When you launched it, we had a certain formulation, then I improved it. And that's the whole idea, is that, to keep improving when you can, which if you are able to do it. And now we have another flavor we are launching this year, which is SG60, sort of a special. And
nice.
So the whole idea is that we do take feedback, and I think feedback is a gift for me. I really encourage feedback, and I ask people to tell me what they like, what can we improve, etc., etc. And I think that's also the beauty of us as a brand, is we are nimble, we are a bit flexible as well, versus some of the big guys who have to go through a lot of bureaucracy to get stuff done.
You can move quickly.
Yeah, exactly. We can move quickly. Yeah. So
wonderful.
Perfect. Hey, Push, we're going to have to leave it there. They can find you on Haldy, HALDY+.com. I know is your website. Where else can people, obviously the Chris Shop and InterContinental Hotels. Tell us again where you can.
So we're on Shopee, Redmart, Lazada, through our partners. We sell Shopee directly from our company. You can buy it from Ryan's Grocery if you fancy going to a grocery store. Yeah. And so those are the few places that we are in. And you'll see us in a lot more places soon.
Awesome. Push Sharma, founder and CEO of Haldy. Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.